Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Marist here with Actualized Cooking, and today we're gonna make one of my favorite summer desserts. Anything with peach in the summertime is a go-to in this house. Normally I would be making a peach cobbler, but I decided to do a spin on my Oma's apple cake, and we are gonna make a peach cake today. It's gonna be using Greek yogurt, which is another one of my new favorite ingredients to add to my cakes to make them fluffy and moist and just lighter for the summertime. No one wants a super heavy dessert in the middle of summer when we are trying to look our best and feel our best. If you're new here, my name's Marist. My husband Andrew and I started this cooking channel in order to make cooking super fun and easy. We want you to be able to fall in love with cooking the way that we've fallen in love with cooking. So whether that's something as simple as a basic little appetizer or breakfast or snack that you can make during the day, all the way to more elaborate dishes that you would get maybe only when you're at a restaurant, or a dessert that you can make for a fun family event or a holiday. We're gonna be sharing all sorts of stuff on this channel, so make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Leave us a comment and tell us what you would like to see us cook next. I am so ready to cook this peach cake and show you guys how to do this and how easy and simple it is, so let's get started. This recipe calls for 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon for tossing the peaches in. We have 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup of sugar that we're also going to toss the peaches in. We have some powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar that we're going to use right at the end just to sprinkle on top. You need about 3 peaches or 2 cups of sliced peaches. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs at room temperature, 1/2 lemon or 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. We're also going to use this lemon for the lemon zest. We have 3/4 cup of plain Greek yogurt, and then 1/2 cup of olive oil. So we have the oven preheating at 350, and while that's heating up, we're gonna go ahead and mix everything together. So the first thing you wanna do is grab a big mixing bowl, and we are gonna put our dry ingredients in here first. So this is the all-purpose flour. And then we have the 1 teaspoon of baking powder, the 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and then I'm going to use this 1/4 teaspoon to just get another 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So now we're going to whisk the dry ingredients together first, and then I'll grab a separate bowl in order to do the wet ingredients, and then we'll combine them, and then we'll have the batter. All right, time for the wet ingredients. So once we get the wet ingredients mixed up, we'll dump them into this dry ingredient bowl, and then we will get everything mixed together and into the pan. So the first thing we're gonna do is pour in this olive oil, the sugar, then the Greek yogurt. I've loved making cakes with Greek yogurt because it is honestly insane, the tangy kind of fresh flavor that it gives to cake batter, but also keeping the cake so fluffy. And then we'll go ahead and do the eggs. So it's 2 eggs. It's super important when you're baking, especially with cakes, to keep the eggs at room temperature. It can really affect like the consistency of the batter when you're going to bake it. All right, let's get these shells out of the way. So now we're gonna pour in the vanilla extract. You only need a little bit of vanilla extract just in general when you're making cookies, cakes, whatever. It's such an amazing like flavor adder, but it can get really overpowering real quick. Okay, so now we just have the lemon juice and lemon zest. So half of a lemon I know I said this in previous videos, but half of a lemon is about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Oof. Okay. The lemon and the vanilla extract are so key to this recipe for adding that kind of fresh burst of flavor. So got the lemon juice in there. Now let's just get a little bit of zest. All right. So now let's get these all combined. Once we mix up these wet ingredients and combine it with the dry ingredients, it should make about 3 cups of batter. So either you can eyeball that or just kind of know that as you're mixing these that should be kind of what you're looking for is like an after. All right, so I'm gonna pour all of this into here. All right, now that we have the wet and the dry together, we're gonna get it all mixed up. So now that we have our batter ready to go to put into the spring foam pan, we are going to slice up these peaches. So you can just slice right around the edge of the peach, kind of like you would an avocado, and then pull it open. And then you just want to cut out this pit right in the center. There we go. And then now once you have your 2 peach halves, you can just start slicing it. So however thick or thin you want to slice them, but I normally do them about that width. Okay, I'm gonna take these diced peaches and move them back into this bowl. And what we're gonna do next is we are going to sprinkle these with a tablespoon of granulated sugar, and then take half of the peaches with the granulated sugar and transfer them into this new bowl right here, and then sprinkle those with some cinnamon. And the reason being is we want half the peaches available for just having sugar on top to go on the very top of the cake. And then the ones that are in the center of the cake, we want those to have the cinnamon. Okay, now that we have our cinnamon sugar peaches and our sugar peaches ready to go, we're gonna go ahead and divide the batter into the spring foam pan. So you only need to put about half of the batter in first, and you can just eyeball it. It's not super serious. You just wanna leave about half of the batter in there so you can add that layer of cinnamon peaches, and then add the second half of the batter, and then go ahead and add the sugar peaches on top of that. So I like to use just like a big spatula just to get it kind of smoothed around in the bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect, but try and get it as even as you can. It's a little like, the consistency is a little sticky, so it'll pull up on your spatula. So just kind of go as slow as you need to, just to get it kind of as even as you can around the bottom. That looks pretty good to me. So we have it pretty even along the bottom, and then now I'm gonna use spoon to spoon out these cinnamon sugar peaches. They smell so good. I like to kind of lightly press them down. Into the batter just a little bit. We have about 3 left over there, and that's totally fine. There we go. So now I'm gonna add the second half of the batter over on top of these cinnamon sugar peaches. Kind of follow the same method I did before, just kind of spreading it around. Push down, pick up, and because it sticks to the back of the spatula, you can just kind of push it around. So having the peaches in the center adds such a layered taste when you go to bite into it, because you have the peaches in the top, the peaches in the center, and by this cake being wrapped around it, as the cake rises, it'll kind of like engulf those peaches into the center and bake all up in between, keeping all of the edges around the peaches super nice and moist as well. So this is what it'll look like, kind of covered halfway in between. Okay, so now that we have that second layer of batter on top, we're gonna add just the sugared covered peaches to the top. So you can be creative with this if you want, because this is kind of the peaches that are gonna poke up on the top. I know like with my Oma's apple cake, like I kind of put them centered down so they look like they create those little fans, but the peaches are a little bit softer. They're pretty ripe. So I'm not gonna try too many tricks. I'm just gonna kind of layer them in and push them down just a little bit. And I'll do just enough peaches to cover the top of the surface. And the rest I'll save to eat. So there you go. So now we have the second layer of peaches on the top. So we are gonna pop this into the oven at 350. We already have it preheated. We are gonna bake it now for 50 to 55 minutes, but you always wanna make sure everyone's oven is different. So use the toothpick test, and you can just grab a toothpick, and whenever it's done, you can put it right in the center of the cake. And if it's still wet, then that means that it still needs to bake a little bit longer. And once the cake comes out dry on the toothpick, that will be your toothpick test and show you that your cake is ready to cool and then enjoy. Okay guys, that is our timer. So our cake is ready to come out of the oven. It smells amazing in here. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful that looks. Okay, so it's always gonna look a little bit darker on the top, but I'm telling you, this cake is gonna be perfect in the middle. But don't take my word for it. We are gonna do the toothpick test to ensure that this is fully cooked in the middle. So you just wanna grab a toothpick and you wanna put it right down the center to make sure that it's dry. So when I pull it out, beautiful. It is completely dry, so this cake is ready. So we have it on the wire rack. We're gonna let it cool. You want this cake to completely cool all the way through before you take it out of the spring foam pan and add that confectioner's sugar, that white powdered sugar on top, and serve it up. So we're gonna let this cool for about 15 to 20 minutes, come back and check it, and then serve it up. I cannot wait. It looks and smells so good. All right, so let's get this cake. We're gonna pop open the edge. Again, it's always gonna look darker. Like the first time I ever made the apple cake, I freaked out when I saw how dark it was, but it is not burned. It's just that nice little coat of butter that we had put on the inside here. So we are going to sprinkle some powdered sugar. Here we go. So we can just lightly dust it all across the top. Look how pretty that looks. You can do as much or as little powdered sugar as you want. You can leave this off if you don't want it. It's totally your call. But I personally love a lot of powdered sugar. So I'm going to coat this until it gets nice and white. All right, perfect. Let's dig into this cake. Oh my goodness, yum. Look at that. It looks perfect. You can see it's still even pretty moist like in the center of the cake, so don't be deterred by like the top being a little bit darker. I really can't stress that enough, because if you take it out too soon, then, my goodness, then it will not be done enough in the middle. But look at how beautiful this looks. So yummy. Okay, I think we're ready to bring in Andrew. Let's call him in for our taste test. Andrew.
Gosh, this looks so good. It's been smelling so good. I can't wait to try this one.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here you go. We're going to take a bite out of the same one.
Same time?
Yes.
I want to get from the front.
Okay, you do the front.
I'll wait though. Yeah.
I'm gonna get this little peach.
Oh yeah,
that
you gotta
dropped.
get that peach.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, we're gonna cheers.
Oh my god, it smells so good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mmm. That's delicious.
So good.
That is
I don't know.
amazing.
Do you like it better with the apples or the peaches?
I kind of like the peaches. I don't know because it's summer, so I'm in like a peach vibe.
I know. We're gonna crush
This is
this.
so good.
Oh my gosh. You have to try this. It's so yummy.
And if you're craving a peach cobbler, it kind of has that vibe
Hits the
of
spot.
like lighter.
Would you do whipped cream?
Ooh, probably.
Maybe
I would do-
some whipped cream. I don't know about ice cream. You could do ice cream if you're
could.
feeling crazy. Your
could.
vanilla ice cream, but I'm more of like a whipped cream girl. So.
I think a little whipped cream with
Yeah.
the lightness of the cake would be so good.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's amazing. You crush
Okay.
this.
Yay. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks
ya.
for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel.